Okay, there's a few guys in here. I'm just waiting for Jason and Vinny to get here. Hopefully they get here soon. See if Vinny lost track of time. I'll message him. I know Jason's on his way. Show you guys that are here. Do a little lighting. Hold on a sec. Show anybody who wasn't here the last time the new Savini piece. It'll be at Orlando Phantasm or Phantasm Orlando. Let's see here. Flip this camera on this. Yeah, that sucks. I don't know how to do it on this. Hold on a sec. All right, I don't know how well you guys can see. We got do a little something with the light here. I'll just show you what the light. I didn't set it up too well, but I can't see. I don't know how to flip the camera around, but that's a Savini piece. Is really nice. I bought it from a buddy of mine, Frankie Clayton. I don't know who made it or anything. He was just selling it. So, how's everybody doing tonight? What's up, Rick? How are you doing, my friend? How you feeling? And I got to message Vinny because I haven't heard from him in a few minutes. Tell him to get his ass in gear. Vinny C. I know he's got his stuff fixed now, so he can actually do shit. Some lights in here. I'm like on the worst side of my wall where it's actually a little bare. Ah, good, man. Okay. Let's see who's here. Sorry about the little delay. We'll get things rolling. It'll be a fun one. Here's Jason. Hey, buddy, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Nice trophy.
Yeah, I know. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I know that had to be a joy to get that in your hand finally, huh?
Oh yeah, it's been a few months waiting for it, but yeah, it worked out well. I was very stoked to have it.
I can believe it, dude. I can believe it. Vinny's running a little bit late. I know he's been excited about doing this, so he'll be here, but it gives us a chance to talk. Again, awesome. You want to introduce yourself to everybody, and I'll put you on the big screen here. Okay. So there you go.
I am Jason Vandygriff. I'm a filmmaker out of Texas. I guess I'm a writer, director, editor, jack of all trades, I guess, cinematographer, and just love making movies, man. Every genre, but I love horror. Horror is awesome, man.
Very cool, dude. Yeah, so this is your second time being on here.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for having me back, bro.
Man, I had a good time. We even talked after. We're like, hey, we should just sit down and talk some horror and talk what's going on with you, with everything. I saw you got that trophy. I'm like, I got to reach out to Jason, see how he's doing, man, and give him a big congratulations on that shiny trophy.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely pretty cool, man. Definitely getting some good vibes off of the festivals and everything. We keep having good responses, so far to everything. So definitely looking forward to the future, man. See what it holds.
Keep it up, man. You're rocking it, man. I'm so excited about Red River Expressway Killer, man. That looks really good. If you guys haven't checked it out, his link's in the description. I put it at the top. Check out that Red River, the Red River Expressway Killer. It's an awesome trailer. It really is well shot for a promo trailer.
Yeah, hey, it's a super long name too. It's like one of those where I was like, I want it to be unique, but I'm like, dang, it's a tongue twister.
yeah, I can barely walk and chew gum, so it's a tough one. Oh no, Jason's not going to go to Orlando, unfortunately. Maybe next year.
Never
Tony was
know.
supposed to be here, the promoter, but he might pop in for Phantasm, and he's actually reviewing short films now for the contest. Judge, like watching them to pick the winner and stuff. So it kind of works out that you came on. Maybe next year you have something to enter into Orlando. That'd be a lot of fun.
I'd be all about it, man. I'm definitely would be all about it. It's like I said, I love Florida. Orlando's a fun town. I've been there
Oh
quite a
yeah,
few times, and I always have a blast when I'm there, and get to
yeah,
stop it at freaking Universal on the way. So that'd be too cool.
yeah. And Tony's a super cool guy. I had him on last week, and it's like this guy's he's an awesome dude. He's been super cool. I can't wait to have the table there. I want to put you also Steve Merlo wanted to pop in too, but he's been so
Oh yeah,
busy next weekend. I don't know if you've heard of Steve. He's
yeah,
doing the
yeah, yeah.
slam. Yeah, I figured you had. I figured, hey, I could just sit back, put both of you guys on, and let you guys talk movies, and I'm sure it'd be a whole fun conversation to sit back and listen to,
Oh hell
because you
yeah,
guys are
yeah.
both awesome dudes.
I love nerding out about movies, man, because I'll be
Oh
that dude I'll be talking about some obscure 70s horror flick, and then other times I'll be like, oh shit, did you see this art house movie that came out in like 1986? I'm kind of like all over the place with my interests and loves, but it's
Did you watch
definitely
that new one on HBO Max? What was it on?
Malignant.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
What do you
wife and
think?
I were going to watch it tonight, and then I ended up being like, no, what was it? No, she was like, I'm actually going to go to bed early tonight, and that's whenever I talked to you earlier, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I'll come on tonight then, and we can talk tonight, and then we're going to watch Malignant tomorrow night.
Yeah,
So,
see, Doomsday's Crypt outdid Malignant at the box office at James Vandegriff house.
oh yeah,
There we go. No, I had a great time talking with you the last time. We were talking for a while, just horror movies and what you're doing. So I was wondering if you had seen it, because I got my thoughts on it. I don't want to give any spoilers. I thought it had a good concept.
Mhm.
It was written, it was executed poorly. In the CGI, I wish they went with more practical effects. Some of the CGI was beyond just bad, like
That's what
really bad.
I've heard is they kind of gave him a blank check to do whatever crazy idea he had, and he kind of did it. Some people said they watched it a couple times and it started kind of being like, oh, okay, but they said it's definitely like every weird influence he ever had. I guess he showed through a lot of giallo stuff, and I'm all about giallo flicks, so I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And I love that poster too. The poster's pretty gnarly. I love that where the letter comes down, it's coming at her eye, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's some
I mean,
Argento
it
shit.
wasn't like I watched and I was like, this is terrible. And of course not, Spin. No spoilers. I don't do that. I wouldn't do it. I'd have maybe next time we'll talk spoilers, Jason. We'll see what you think, and we'll brainstorm that movie, see what we both thought and what we liked and what we didn't like.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Listen,
bro.
I
For
love
sure.
the idea, and it really and no spoilers. It felt like a movie that was definitely, I don't want to say ripped it off, but it was influenced by a lot.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
watched it, I'm like that was influenced by two things, and I kind of figured out the plot well before. Like I kind of figured out the twist pretty early on, because you're wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there were some good aspects. There were some real good moments. But
Yeah.
let me see hi to Spin, Rick Smith, Rick D. Actually, you'll see him. Rick Delorier. He's a mod on the Doomsday Crypt page. My
Sweet.
son, not biological, but son by all means. Devo is here. Just
Mhm.
had my granddaughter just turned 4 months old now.
Oh, awesome.
And
Congrats.
the grades are kicking in quicker than ever, just knowing that. No, she's adorable though. So he's a great dad. So I'm real proud of him too. So yeah,
That's
too
cool,
bad he's so
man.
far in Canada. He could hit the road with me once in a while, do some of these events, bring his kid
Yeah.
around, dress her up.
Speaking of Canada, man, that's another place I need to go back to. I love that. I love that country so much.
Along
like,
with Steve Merlo, that's where he is.
yeah.
Yeah, he's out of Canada.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of places once the flicks start doing a little bit better, I definitely want to hit a bigger amount of the festival circuit. I know we got Fantastic Fest going on in Austin right now, and I love a lot of our local Texas festivals. They're the shit, but it's like there's a lot of them where I'm like, oh man, I really want to get into like Toronto After Dark or something like that. You know, there's a lot of cool festivals up north.
Well, I'm 45 now, but I was a 16-year-old, 15-year-old when I went to Montreal, Canada. A few times. They didn't do much karting, and I gotta say, I had the time of my life as a kid back then. It was a lot of fun. They didn't kart anywhere, and I was shocked when I was 16. I said, I'm gonna take a chance where I live, and I didn't think it was anyway. But it was a lot different back then. You used to go to Rhode Island instead of Boston. It was actually closer, and now it's a nightmare to get through. But be at every place there. It was a good time at 16. They can't get away with the fun stuff I did back in the day.
It's kind of for me. I'm 37, and just I remember being 16, 15 and getting into a lot more shit than most of the kids can get into nowadays, especially with social media and everything.
Get away with everything. You can't get away with nothing nowadays. Boy, did I get away with some stupid shit. This nose don't look like this for nothing.
Yeah, man, I know the feeling, bro. Yeah, it's just
I got a lot of it from my father.
Yeah.
He's actually my parents. They live in Florida, so that's why Orlando works out perfect for me too. And then
that is awesome.
Phantasm. Obviously, I got a ton of Michael Myers stuff. That Vinny, wherever he is, Vinny, he'll be here. He probably fell asleep or something. But Vinny was all the big stuff I got is by Vinny. I got the Malpagano 13. And then I'm still going to have a lot of other stuff. Like, of course, my buddy Jesse Aarons does a ton of Jason stuff that I own. And I got a big Ben by him. And the table's going to be pretty stacked. I got Scott Straka art coming for the table. I'll be having a TV running promos of, say, your trailers. Maybe even if with your permission, show a couple of your shorts, your award winners.
I'd be all about it, bro. I'd definitely, any support I can get, I'm all about it. And speaking of Halloween, I was gonna say, speaking of Halloween, what's do you see the reviews for Kills yet?
Yeah, I liked them. I liked them because it said there was just mindless killing or something. I mean, everything that I want in a horror movie. I don't expect it to be Shakespeare.
Yeah,
I'm going to have a good time, and I want to see Michael whoop some ass, and I don't care. I don't care. I was able to get through Resurrection. There is nothing I can't get through now.
That was my thoughts. I was going to ask you about that. Is like we've hit those low points in the series at some point, and it sounds like the critics are trying to savage this one right now. But every one of them that it's consistently come back to, positive ones and negative ones, it's like, oh, this one's like the most brutal Halloween movie, and I'm like, I'm about it.
That's what I kind of heard today. Why is it getting bad reviews? It's a horror slasher. It's Michael Myers. I mean, am I afraid he's going to be a little too overpowered? Maybe. Is it going to bother me? Nope.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I wish they didn't show like how he got out of the house in that one scene in the beginning. So I do understand a lot of people. You put too much in the trailer, but from what it sounds like, there's going to be a lot more in the trailer to see. So if that's what they're going with for the trailer, because they can't say, oh, people got to come see this, because anybody who's going to Halloween 2018 or Halloween Kills is going. Yeah. You might get a few new people, but it's not like they're going to see that scene and go, oh my God, that's what Halloween is. Everybody knows what it is.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm like with like Friday the 13th and everything too, man. Like there's some definite low points in that series, but there's also I'm always going to be there for them because I've been watching those since I was a kid. Since my brother showed them to me in the early 90s when I was not supposed to be watching shit like that when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I'm obsessed with them, man. The first one I ever saw was Takes Manhattan, and I was hooked ever since then.
I think I told you I went to Manhattan, but I was kind of disappointed, but then again, it was retconned when I saw Jason Goes to Hell in the theater, and I'm like, man, I love Part 8. I love Part 8 now. It was like, what the hell happened? But then again, my guilty pleasure is Jason X. I'll watch it.
Yeah, but, that's the thing. It's not a great movie, but it has great kills. That's the thing. It's like you have to appreciate the special effects. That's one of those things. Like this, it makes absolutely no sense. Good kills.
what Rick is saying is Rick Smith, Rick D from Dooms. You see him in the Doomsday's Crypt group. He's saying there's a lot of CGI in a Halloween movie. Now that'll piss me off because I do not. I like practical effects mostly. I don't mind it with a touch of CGI to polish it up. But I mean, like I was saying with Malignant, I couldn't get past the bad CGI or too much CGI. Even if it's decent for a slasher, I want practical effects. I want it. That's if it feels like it's not real and it's a movie. It never scares me. But when it feels like gritty, like Texas the Chainsaw Massacre, the first one, the first 78 Halloween, even the second one, the vibe, the grittiness, the sound, the practical effects. Even one of my buddies, and actually Spin's buddies, Ronnie Hayes, did a really good flaw and all review on Friday the 13th Part 4. And I know he studied a lot of it because he bought the big box set and the behind the scenes and how they did the reverse thing with the butcher knife in the neck and going back, where just some cool stuff that you see with practical effects that it's like, wow, that is really genius. I mean, simple, but genius.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like I grew up worshiping at the the altar of Savini and Botine and stuff, and like I'm always gonna prefer practical effects, and it's really kind of cool too, because like a difference between Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Just thinking about how much Lord of the Rings had such really good effects, really good creature effects, and then you go back and you start to watch the Hobbit movies. Whenever I saw those in theaters, I was like, all the creatures were CGI and they looked like crap, and also you could tell like the sets looked like crap because most of the stuff was CGI compared to the other movie. Even though there was a ton of CGI in freaking Lord of the Rings, but it was the perfect mixture of CGI and practical that helped make it realistic, and they kind of got away from that. It sucked,
And I'm not a prequel hater of Star Wars. Like, I didn't love them. I always did like Revenge of the Sith, but that's like with the Phantom Menace and what they did with it all being CGI. It didn't age well at all. I mean, it was a cool concept, but the thing that made Star Wars great too, and I always bought the X-Wing fighters. I mean, obviously it doesn't make, none of it's scientific with what they do, but I like the practical effects with the miniatures and stuff. I thought it looked way better than those glossy, shiny ships and stuff. And believe the first two I actually appreciate more than I did when I watched them in the theater. I always like I said, Revenge of the Sith. I always really liked a lot. I thought it was a good film.
Yeah.
But I can watch
last 30 to 45 of Revenge of the Sith is pretty freaking solid. That's I've always told people that. I was like, I'll put that up there. It's really good. There's still some classic cheesy ass George Lucas dialogue that I'll always hate, but there's still just solid scenes. Like the structure is very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's especially. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and bash the sequel trilogy. I wish they did a lot of things. I wish they just used the original characters a little better, especially now that we lost Carrie Fisher.
Yeah. The sequel ones were There's one of those where there's moments, but there's just I do wish they would have used them better.
Let me see how
Mandalorian handled those characters better.
The Mandalorian was great. Well, they need to put Dave Filoni in charge of shit.
I love Clone Wars. I love everything he's done with all that, and then he brought it over to Mandalorian. It's just like, I know Favreau and him worked really well together, but Filoni's consistently given good work, good products, good writing. That's what it starts with, good writing.
Favreau's been killing it too.
Yeah, for real.
Knox Jarvis is in the chat. I want to say hi to him. Interval AIC Comics. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Interval's actually one of my good friends in real life. A lot of these guys in this chat are real awesome people. Most I've known even before Doomsday's Crypt was started. So I appreciate you guys all being here. And thank you, Jason, for being here. I don't know why I was going to call you James. I know so many James and Jasons and Jays. I get tongue twisted, man.
My dad's name was James. My dad's name was James, and my nephew's name is James. So we got a lot of Jameses, and so you're not too far off.
A lot of Jays in my family too. Like my uncles, Joey, Jimmy, Jeffrey, Jerry. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Me and my brother are Jason and Jeremy. Dad is James. Yeah,
They
we have
like
a
to
lot of
do
J's.
theme. Yeah. My parents at least broke it a little bit. My older sister's Vicky, and my younger is Debbie. So I
Yeah.
was, Jesus Christ, Johnny. So at least that's what I was. Jesus,
My,
Johnny, what are you doing?
my mom used to get pissed off and say the wrong name and said Jason, Jeremy, whatever the hell y'all's name is. That's usually how it went.
Hey, Phil's creepy horror videos. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Phil's got a great channel too. He does a lot of horror. Really great in the horror community. I really enjoy his channel a whole lot. He does some really good live streams. He keeps his fan base pretty attentive. So thanks for being here, Phil. I appreciate seeing you. I appreciate everybody here. But yeah, I can't wait for Kills. I mean, like I'm so ready for it. I got Vinny because it's going to be a heavy Michael Myers 78. Actually, Halloween 3, whether you like it or not. I loved Halloween 3. I thought it was.
3. I like 3.
I got some awesome stuff going for that. Some really cool kill stuff. So by the time I'm done with the convention, get home, I'll be going to the movie theaters. And I already got Peacock. I'm going to the theaters to see it first, but then I'm going to go home and probably watch the movie about 50 times. So
you got to. It's got to happen. I'm one of those kind of guys too. Like I'll watch it at the theater, and the minute it's available on VOD, I buy it straight up and just watch it at nauseum.
Even if I don't like it, I'm still going to watch it. And then I'm going to watch it again until I like it. Like I'm going to make myself watch the movie. If I don't like it the first time I see it, I'm going to watch it until I say, I like it. I've done enough. I like it. I admit to myself I'm going to like it no matter what. So yeah, I'm biased. Although I tried that with Resurrection. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I can find love in all the other stuff. I can find love in all the other ones. I can. Like something I really enjoyed.
There's just something about late 90s, early 2000s horror that it's very hit or miss. Like that's the bad thing is like they tried to make this formula that like this almost like the Scream formula, and it just doesn't work. If
it's exactly what happened.
Write it well.
Scream was perfect.
Yeah.
And then it went into the Saw thing, which I loved. The Saw, I thought it was creative when it first. I mean, it still kind of had that Scream thing, but it was a little darker than Scream. Really, it was pretty brutal. But I mean, they were both brutal. I'm looking
its own thing. Yeah, definitely.
I'll definitely watch Scream 5 and go in interest. Like the genre got with. I still know what you did last summer. I know what you did last summer. And then what was the other one? Final Destination was pretty good, but
they had a urban legend.
Urban Legend. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, and it was all watching the same movie because they all did the same. And then slashers disappeared for a while, but I'm glad to see him back.
Yeah, one of the few ones that I really just was like, oh, this is unique. I love Robert Rodriguez's film, The Faculty. It came out in '98. I love that because it's like, hey, by the way, we're gonna have these weird alien things that come out of nowhere.
It almost has a Thing kind of vibe to it, which I really enjoyed too.
I loved that part too, especially when they're testing everybody and making everybody do the meth or whatever the speed they're doing, and I guess it can't have powder or whatever. I love that the Thing scene. Like that's the one part where it's like, okay, this is obviously an homage to the Thing, but I love it.
Drugs aren't bad. Drugs are fine as long as it's killing aliens.
Pretty much.
Oh, take care, Spin. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. Enjoy the movie. Like I said, it's not terrible. I just had some issues with it that was tough to get by. The CGI was really part of it too.
Yeah. But, so Nick Castle's playing. What is he playing? A cameo in Halloween Kills, Rick?
I think in Kills he he was in 2018 in some scenes. He's probably doing the same thing in Kills where maybe in a background scene he's wearing the mask.
Yeah. Okay, sweet.
Love it. He's gonna take the brunt of it. So, but they always did that in Halloween's. Deborah Hill was in a scene. Obviously Tony Moran. I think there was didn't John Carpenter play him in a couple scenes? I think I forget. But I mean, Nick Castle is the one who carried the load. I think even at the time, I don't exactly know why they did it.
Yeah.
Killed the babysitter in 2018. Right.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, that was a great scene. I there was a lot of people had issues with 2018. I definitely did. There was definitely convenient writing.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Loomis knockoff, but there were some great scenes. There were some really great scenes. If that would have been the final, because they kind of left it open ended, I think, to see how it did, and people reacted. So that's why they didn't announce kills and ends. But that would have been like the worst to end that way. And then that was it. Just the way he went, it wasn't great. It wasn't. There was just some good kills, like when the kid kissed Lori's daughter and got hung by the chin. That was a cool scene. There was just some really good ones. There was good moments, and then not so good. The babysitter scene, Rick said, was really good. The kid was really good, but I got a feeling they're going to do that thing that they didn't. I'm going to call it the Transformers parents thing, where it was kind of a chuckle on the first Transformers movie, and then the lady who played it just overdid it, and they made it like, ugh.
Yeah, I know. I just, there's definitely, like I said, that recurring thing with some of these later sequels and stuff too is like, just please give us some good kills. If the story starts to suck, just I want to have like one or two good ones where I'm like, oh shit. And then the first thing I'm thinking immediately after is, I wonder how they did that. And I want to try to figure out how they did, because that's always a big thing with me with practical effects. Trying to figure out how they did it.
Yeah, that's what I'm really hoping that Rick's wrong on, is the CGI, because for a horror, I mean, other movies I can deal with. Sci-fi, I can deal with CGI. But even Star Wars proved that practical effects are better for that too. I still think those, like I said, I still think visually it's more pleasing to watch the original trilogy than it is the prequels, and then even worse watching the new ones, because there was just something better about it that just looked real, where it's just not so shiny.
Yeah, that's what I liked about Mandalorian, is he's Filoni and Favreau tried to get so much. I mean, there's still CGI, but they use so much practical stuff in there, and I love how like Baby Yoda's like a practical puppet, and all that shit. And I was like, it actually felt more realistic, like something you could reach out and touch.
Exactly. But they did the perfect blend. Like, I think CGI is great if you use it with practical effects, but something about just CGI. Yeah. I don't know.
It's fake. That's what it is. It's too fake. Like, you have to suspend disbelief when doing special effects and trying to make the audience forget for a moment what they're watching. Like, yeah, we're watching some weird, silly shit in a galaxy far, far away. But like, for a moment, you have to be like, whoa, I'm thoroughly engrossed into this. And the minute you see some weird, gosh, I'm trying to remember the Phantom Menace, just like the saddest parts, but there were so many. Like, I can't cherry pick one instance in Phantom Menace that was just so terrible. But yeah, just you have that stuff, and it's like you lose your audience there. Then you
I was like
twice as hard to gain them back.
Like, I enjoyed the Phantom Menace when I was going in the first scene, with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, and everything's going great. And then you get down to the planet, and you meet Jar Jar Binks. And you're like, hope this guy don't stick around. I'm not hating on the actor. He did what he had to do and stuff, so I don't want to be there. But I mean, I remember watching it going, oh man, I hope this isn't. Oh, it's.
He did exactly what George Lucas wanted him to do.
We're underwater with these weird things. It didn't feel like Star Wars at the time. Now it's grown a lot since, even with you're banging upstairs. Even with sorry, I got distracted now. I totally forgot what I was saying. I heard thump. Nobody fell. One of my guys is pretty loud upstairs. But what was I gonna say? Oh, well, even the Clone Wars and stuff. It was more. I liked what they did with the prequels' influence to grow the universe, and they didn't have the technology to do what they could in the prequels either. They did an amazing job in the original, but they definitely expanded on it. And Clone Wars told it really well. Other ones didn't. It's like if you watch Well, you'd understand the original prequels if you watched the Clone Wars, which I wound up watching the Clone Wars. It was a long series. I didn't realize how long it ran for.
Oh, I loved it, man. I like so I watched Jindy Tarkovsky's whatever, like, damn, I don't know, butchered his name there, but the guy used to do Dexter's Lab.
Did you freeze up?
And then they had, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I don't know if I froze or you
okay.
froze.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say that Gendry Tarkovsky guy or whatever that did Dexter's Laboratory. I remember watching his original like traditional animated show, and then they had the CGI Clone Wars after that, and I was like, oh yeah, that totally got me where I was into the prequels after that. Like, I liked Revenge of the Sith, like I say, especially the last 30, 45 minutes dialogue and hammy soap opera scenes aside. But that Clone Wars dude is just so well done, so well paced that it's just like you totally bought into all those characters. And just like the side ones, the side parts of the Jedi Council, those guys where I'm like, holy shit, that guy, the guy that you see die in Revenge of the Sith was super cool, actually, or them bringing back stuff in Mandalorian,
Like you said, I'll put it up there with the good ones in the series. What I really liked the end between the battle between Palpatine and Yoda, the battle between Obi-Wan and Anakin. Did I like the way it went in? Like, I never imagined Anakin being like Darth Vader being Hayden Christensen. And I didn't really well, in the first one, it was the other kid. And then I didn't like him at all in part 2. He kind of redeemed himself in part 3 where he wasn't so bad, and it wasn't all his fault too. It was the way it was written. His character was written. And
yeah,
I don't know. It was a weird way to go with Darth Vader, but I bought into it now. Where like if before you knew anything, you heard the prequels are announced. It's like, what kind of badass is this dude gonna be? And what made him turn to the dark side? I wish there was a little bit better explanation. I think there could have been, where he was more torn, that he really had no choice and he had to. So,
yeah, hopefully, I know they're doing that Obi-Wan series, with Ewan McGregor. So we'll see if they have some Mandalorian magic with that or not, and hopefully it doesn't suck.
My problem is he in Star Wars, he was an old hermit who just watched over Luke, and I love Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. He's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But other than like bleeding that character to death, what left is there for him? I mean, I'm sitting on Tatooine, and now we're gonna have how would he go undetected so long if he's doing all this stuff and being noticed? It just doesn't.
That is the one part. Oh no, I agree with you that the believability is, if he's doing all this other shit and he's bringing light to it, even if he's leaving, going back and forth, he's still leaving a trail. He's still leaving breadcrumbs. So that's one thing they're gonna have to explain, or they're gonna lose a lot of people, right off the bat, because it's like it got to have some believability to it. You got to build your world enough.
They act like Star Wars. They want to get rid of the old stuff, but they just come back to it. And like I did like in The Mandalorian, the whole end with Luke Skywalker and what they did. I thought that was really cool. It was an awesome moment. I was like, yeah. And I haven't done that for Star Wars in a while. Or hell yeah. But Luke had more of a story to be told in between. I mean, I hate what they did with his character, but then again, I don't care what he did in between now, because his story's kind of been told to me even now. But Obi-Wan's has definitely been told, in my opinion. I just don't. I mean, it's definitely fan service, which is cool. I mean, if they do it well, maybe they got a good way to do it. But with those series lately, it's hit or miss. Like Rebels, and it was good, but even they used it. We want, how do we get this even cooler? Let's get Maul and Obi-Wan to fight again.
Yeah, that was another part too, where it's just there's a lot of that, and I guess Rick brought up a good point. Child's Play series. What are you thinking of? Don Mancini's involved in that. How do you think that's going to go?
When is it premiere? It premieres soon, doesn't it? Or did it already?
Hey, Rick, do you know when that premieres?
It's on Sci-Fi, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, because I know Don Mancini's wrote it and he's creating it and everything too, so he's heavily involved. So that's why I'm hoping. I have some high hopes for it, because the remake, I was kind of like, but
you know what? I took the remake kind of like I took the Rob Zombie Halloween, where it's just a different, I like, other than the name, kind of tried to watch it on its own or its own movie, and made a difference. Where it was like, all right, they're going a new direction. It's not Chucky. It's not Charles Lee Ray. It's different.
Yeah, it's something
just
else.
it's technology. It's It's Terminator doll, really, because a corrupted machine. Which, well, I guess so. Skynet really wasn't corrupted. He's not. Be right back. I'll ask Alex. Okay, he's gonna find out.
Yeah, it looks
But
like
it is. I've heard mixed things, and I haven't heard the story because I avoid spoilers. But some people who said, I've heard what the series is going to be like, is like, oh, I'm not sure. But it looks great. The promo commercials look great. I'm going to go in. I'm hoping to enjoy it. I'll be watching it, and I hope it's fantastic. But we'll see. I mean, that's kind of where we're at with a lot of things. You hope it's going to be really good, and
Yeah, it looks like exactly a month from now, October 12th. Is when it drops. So yeah, and Brad Dourif's back as Chucky. So that's
Brad Dourif doing okay. I didn't realize
he's doing Chucky again.
That's awesome. You should always do Chucky. I mean,
I agree.
I love Mark Hamill, but his voice is the Joker voice when he does things. I mean, no matter what.
That's what I hear.
Well, I hear the Joker, but I thought it was, like I said, I didn't hate it. It wasn't Nightmare on Elm Street remake bad, but even that I don't hate as much as most people do. Like there's certain things I didn't like, but there were some cool things with it. I mean, nobody will ever replace Robert Englund.
Yeah,
and that's the problem. You go, and the only way I could see doing a Nightmare on Elm Street, and with Robert Englund being old, is have a cosplayer, like a stunt double, like they do with Jason, and for the parts that need to be talked and done, he. With everything now, they could make it look like he's at least when he's talking, it's him, even if it's from the head up or whatever, and doing the talking shots, and make it easy on him to film. Yeah. Or even down the road when he's really just way too old to do it and you want to carry it on, and he still has the voice and he still wants to do it. You could do something with a cosplayer type Freddy Krueger that has the build that's like, wow, that looks just like Robert Englund. Incorporate his voice and his acting skills. Kind of like a video game with a voice actor. I mean, I could see something that being good because you just can't replace him.
Yeah, he's an icon, man. He's an icon. That's it. It's just and I love Jackie Earle Haley too. Like he's one of the best character actors out there. But that's a hard thing to kind of step into to ask of an actor. Especially a writer director too.
I would have ran. I would have been like, no, it's a great opportunity, but no, I'm not messing with Robert Englund. It's like, although the last Hellraiser, I can't remember the name of it. The guy who played Pinhead was pretty good. You can't replace Doug Bradley. I thought the guy did a decent job, but you still can't replace Doug Bradley. Just can't. But Freddy even more so. You can replace Michael. I mean, there's better and worse ones, just like with Jason. I mean, Castle's obviously my favorite, but James Jude Courtney is a fantastic Michael Myers. And whether you like the Rob Zombie ones or not, Tyler Mane was a beast as Michael Myers.
I love the Rob Zombie ones. Yeah, it's just but I've also always liked Rob Zombie stuff, and I was always stoked for Rob Zombie. And that's the way I look at it too. Is like it's its own thing. It's its own universe, and like kind of like how we talked about, it's hard to replace Doug Bradley too. Like Paul Taylor, he's out of Dallas. Super cool dude. He was the one who played Pinhead in Hellraiser Judgment, the one that came out a couple of years ago. That was the first one that Bradley didn't play, and it's definitely his own version of it. It definitely, it definitely has the same Pinhead look and everything like that, but he definitely goes a different route with it instead of just doing an imitation. And I respected that and liked that. And the guy who directed it, was the original makeup artist for all the Hellraiser movies. So there was that connection. They had to make it on a lower budget. It was released more of an independent thing. But yeah, that's one of those where it's like, I always, you can want to tell those guys where it's just like, man, I got to respect the heck out of you for trying to jump at that, because that's such a daunting task to be able to take on such an iconic thing. Because I know I would stay away from it. I could not do remake territory. I could not Neil Marshall. I love Neil Marshall movies, and he made the Hellboy remake like last year or 2 years ago. And it's like, man, it's so hard to get past Del Toro's Hellboys because I love Del Toro. He's one of my favorite filmmakers.
Roman was great, but even I don't know. I didn't hate the remake, but it wasn't as good as the other two. I would have liked to seen the trilogy end. If you're gonna make another Hellboy, at least finish the damn story for us.
Yes,
even if you use what's his name, David Harbour to play him if Ron Perlman's too old to do it and you have to recast him. But at least follow the story. It sucks to do it that way because Ron Perlman's a legend. And I think he could have done it still. I mean, at least finish the trilogy, and then if you want to reboot it, fine.
Yeah, he's a tough old bastard. Like, I think he could have done it. I think Ron Perlman could have done it.
Oh, I definitely, he would have done it. I know he wanted to do it. And I'm not a big David Harbour fan. He's all right and some stuff. I'm not saying I don't like him. I definitely prefer Ron Perlman over him.
Yeah, that's just what you expect.
I didn't like him as Hellboy though. I mean, the look wasn't terrible. It was like we're gonna make this off. But it almost felt like he was imitating Ron Perlman in the role in a sense. Like you were saying, like, do you go in your own direction or do you try to take influence from the person who played him before me?
Yeah, that's the thing is sometimes you might just have to go in the full different direction because at that point, if you're trying to do mimicry, you're never going to be as good as the original. So that's why it's always like, let me go a different route, Well,
that's why it's better to do something original than remake it. We got a script, earn it. Yeah, I mean, but brand name, brand recognition, definitely.
It's like Season of the Witch. Everybody hated Season of the Witch, when it came out, and it had nothing to do with it. But I love Season of the Witch now. It's like, to me, that's a cool standalone little thing.
Well, I even look at H1 and H2 as its own thing, without like even as its own timeline in itself, where Michael actually died in it. Because H3 was a fantastic movie. He died. He was supposed to be dead. They weren't even really supposed. It was always supposed to be an anthology type movie with different stories. Like Creep Show or something, and it's just not how people didn't want it. They didn't expect Michael Myers to be what the icon he became too, and so I respect it. But I do love Halloween 3, and actually Steve Merlot's one of his friends has got something in the works for an indie project, a sequel to it, which I think will be really
awesome.
Cool. Yeah, so that'll be awesome because I'd love to see. I think that definitely left an open door of what happened after. That was
I'd be down. I'd watch it.
Oh, Johnny Depp don't play Freddy. No, I hope not either.
Yeah,
I hope
hell no, dude.
I'm trying to see what I'm missing. Yeah, I don't know where Vinny is. Something probably came up. I messaged him, but I understand. We'll get him next time. He finally got his stuff working too. He was trying to set his stuff up last week. We were on, and he had some trouble. We finally tested it out, everything, and something must have came up. He didn't just dip. That's for sure. Because I know he's looking forward to it. So.
Oh, like I said, man, I'm definitely and I'm looking forward to coming on in October. Later on, next time. It'll definitely be fun.
Man. Dude, you're now I can't just announce you. People will get to know you that you're on the channel. You're part of the team. Anytime you want to jump in, man, you're always welcome to come in and discuss any topics. Because I'm trying to get used to doing this. I started basically doing uploads, and it's like these live streams talking and shooting the shit with some friends about some horror, or talking about projects that are going on. Vinny was on showing some of the stuff he's working on. I think that's a ton of fun, man. I enjoy seeing it.
Yeah, it's definitely fun times, bro. I definitely am enjoying it. I'm getting used to talking more on this stuff, like because I've done Lee, it's probably 5 or 6 podcasts now in the past month, and then getting used to talking more because I've always been somewhat talkative, but I'm kind of also been kind of a shy guy where it's like I don't really seek a lot of things out, but like lately it's like, man, I love I love podcasts, and I love the streams like this. I love free-form conversation, and I love finding like-minded people to talk about movies and pop culture with. Yeah,
that's why we got along so good the last time. It's like once we started talking and we talked about your projects. We talked about a whole bunch of other things. We went on so many different topics. I can't even remember. I think we even got to Jeepers Creepers at some point and stuff. So yeah, no, we've gone from horror to Star Wars and a few other ones today. So it's been a lot of fun talking about that. But let me see what Rick's saying here, because I want to make sure the chat feels involved. That's one thing I wish I could do better. I'm so bad at the chat when I get stuck in a conversation. But Rick's saying something that was the ambulance driver.
Sweet.
The ambulance driver. I'm trying to think what I was talking about that had the ambulance driver. Ambulance driver. Let's see, Rick came back. We were talking about, I can't remember the ambulance driver. The only thing I can think of is Halloween 4, the ambulance driver, or
yeah.
Maybe he's talking about Halloween 2. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Can you re-ask that, because I'm just not sure. I want to make sure I understand the question. H2O Jamie killed. Yeah, the ambulance driver. Yeah. Sure. That's exactly how it was intended. Yeah, that was. I mean, that was the best part about H2O. It was the decapitation, and then to do Resurrection was. I don't care. I hated Resurrection with a passion. It was. I didn't like H2O a lot. I never liked that timeline. It was cool seeing Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis again, but
Yeah, I was not a fan of Resurrection. That was one of those. It fell into all those tropes of the late '90s, early 2000s horror films, like freaking hardcore.
Well, without rebooting, what do you do after Part 6? And I hate I think we talked about this too. The Thorn. I'm not a fan of the Thorn, but I don't hate 5 and 6 as a movie by itself. But what do you do after 6 to continue the story? I mean, you could have, but the Thorn had to be rebooted. And I see people getting those Thorn tattoos all the time, and it's like, I love those. I don't hate those movies. I won't say I love them. Like, I loved H1, H2, H4. Those are like the 3 that those are probably my top 3 favorite in the series. And the Rob Zombie Halloween, I actually like a lot more than a lot of other people. I like Part 5. I thought it was good. I didn't like the direction with the Man in Black. And then it just went off the rails in Halloween 6. And I mean, it from what I understand, Halloween 5 didn't have really much direction going in it, and that's why the story is such a mess.
Yeah, that was one of those holding on to the rights kind of movies. We got to make a movie to hold on to the rights. Yeah. That's what it seemed like, 100%.
And then they just got him stuck. After 6? What do you do? I mean, Jamie get Michael raping his sister. It was just, I don't know. I mean,
it was crazy, man. Yeah, that's one of those deals, man. Like I said, it's literally, hey, we need a movie and get me a script in a month. We're shooting this early next year. We got to hold on to the rights. And that's just how it constantly goes into. And that's what we keep getting these weird, bad sequels. And it's just, and then sometimes they actually.
Couldn't have been any worse either. He was terrible in that movie. You can't believe that he became what he did. Maybe it was what he was told and how he did it, but he's definitely come a long way since that role. A long way in 26 years. There were things I liked in it. There were things I hated. The story was all over the place, but I loved a lot of the kills, and I did love the H6 look. I loved it. I loved the Curse of Michael Myers look. It was so much better than the 4 and 5 look.
Yeah.
Got rid of Nicolas Cage, and you kind of went back to the old one, and then they used the Part 6 one, and even though it wasn't a continuation, I think that's what confuses people on the beginning of H2O. And then they go back to that H2O. They couldn't figure out what mask they wanted to put on them.
Yeah.
So that was the H6 mask in the beginning, and that's a great mask, great look. Well, let's get rid of it and get something else. Michael, don't wear the same mask twice.
Yeah.
But you get it, like you kind of get why you had to have a new mask in H4 the way they had. That mask was probably a little toasty, and what was it? 20 years later, what 78? Yeah, it was 88. No, it was it was 88 when it came out. So yeah, it was 10 years. 10 years later. So yeah,
yes,
that mask doesn't hold up. It barely held up.
The mask. Yeah, speaking of the mask, I'm loving that's what I love about the poster for Kills with having the mask burn up. And I was just like, oh man, I actually like that. I like that poster. Like,
I love the look. I love the look. I love the Kills look. I got a few that are being rehauled by Vinny, and he's already started me showing me. They're looking great too. But I love the look, and there's been some people who've done some fantastic jobs. Like Vinny is going to be amazing. Nick Malpagano, who's like a legend in the Michael Myers community. His Kills is badass. I've seen some people doing some really, really good ones, and Vinny's no less going to be doing some killer ones. We got probably, I think we have 6 kills going on the table. Make sure if anybody needs one. We got some 2018s, and I'm not sure if we got any 78s, but we're gonna I got some, obviously. So I got ones that I already own too. So it'll be a good Michael Myers showing. It'll be a lot. I got my Rob Zombies. I'll be there. There's some that I won't sell. There's some things that's just my personal collection. Like those mini pieces are all getting signed by the cast. Whether it's
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that happen. I'm making that happen. And then, of course, I've been waiting up for the 1/4. I pre-ordered the 1/4 inch Michael Myers from 2018. Finally comes out. Of course, they tell me like a week before I'm leaving. So now I got to spend, because I got 2 of them. There's another $250 down the drain. God, Michael Myers. He's not only kills people, he's killing my damn wallet.
Yeah, I know. My buddy Trey Murphy, he's a producer on Red River Expressway. He's also director. He did Amityville Cult, the movie I worked on last year as a cinematographer and editor. He is at Texas Frightmare right now. He's been there the last couple of days. It's just getting some. I used to go all the time back in the day, and he still goes regularly. And he was like, he got some more photo ops with Kane Hodder. He got Malcolm McDowell. He just got the full setup. Dylan McDermott was there. I don't know if you're a big hardware fan.
I had some people that were in the crypt, Doomsday's Crypt, that were at that event. Yeah, a few people were at some different events. I can't remember all the different events that went on this weekend. Some in Texas, I believe. Some in I don't even remember all the states they were in, but there was a few people. There was a lot of people posting some great pictures with Kane Hodder and James Jude Courtney, and some with Tom Savini. One guy was posting some of that. Yeah, legend.
I met Savini like in 2007. I think it was 2000. It's 2007 or I think it's 2008 at Texas Frightmare that year. That was a good year too because Ramiro was still alive. I got to see Ramiro. Sid Haig was still alive. Sid Haig and Mosley were there together, sitting next to each other. I got to see freaking what's his name? James Hampton, Teen Wolf's dad. He was in Sling Blade, a bunch of movies, but I love that he was Michael J. Fox's dad in Teen Wolf.
Yeah, he was awesome. He was definitely 80s all over it. 80s dad.
Yeah, it sucked he died. He died last year.
Really? That's too bad. He was so funny.
Yeah. He was a cool dude. We talked to him for like an hour. He was a good dude.
That's like, there's some of them that are like that. When I went and met CJ Graham, it was early because I was a vendor too, and he didn't have a line yet. People hadn't really got in. It was Sunday. Go over. I got the mask and the NECA, and Vinny wanted me to get a Hawk signed by him. And before I could even I didn't really expect it. He just starts talking and talking. I think we went over it the last thing. He's like, "If I got in a bar, did I tell you about that one?"
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, when I met CJ, the guy was funny. He just walked up, and I knew the security guy because he was really cool. He was hanging out with me in Camp Crystal Cabin 6's booth a lot. The 2 security guys, they were funny as hell. But I was over at CJ. The dude was there, and CJ saw me. He just started talking to me like he knew me for like 5 years. It was cool. And he just started talking about these stories and talking about like just dude shit. Like if we were at the bar and somebody started with me, they're gonna either get one of 2 things. They're either gonna get their ass kicked by a senior citizen, or they're gonna get beat up a senior citizen. Either way, they lose. That dude's a brick house still. But Rick Smith is saying Nick Malpagano, who did the 13 for me. That's one of his big masks. His kills and he's putting up another one tonight. One for $1,750.
Jeez.
Yeah, yeah. His stuff gets some money. I mean, he's got a reputation in the Myers community, so that's why it's a big honor owning that 13 I got too.
Yeah.
And then Vinny making that bust was, I'm real. Got a new piece coming for for the Kills movie too that Vinny's working on. Unfortunately, it's not mine. It's a buddy of ours, Sal's. I'm gonna put it on the table. It's a firehouse. I don't know if I ever showed you the picture, but Vinny made like a firehouse diorama. It looks like it's on fire in the dark, and he's got some plans. It's gonna be pretty badass on the table.
Cool,
of course, Sal. I mean, it's gonna be so hard to ship it to Sal too after, because it's gonna I'll get it signed for him by Castle and James Jude Courtney, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough. I might have to just cut off the names off the shirt.
Yeah.
Hold it hostage on them. Just kidding. But yeah, that's gonna be a wicked piece to see. Really, really cool. I'm looking forward to that. I'm trying to think of some other new movies. Did you see Spiral?
I never saw Spiral. I got fatigued from Saw movies there for a while, and I was like, I thought about it, but then somebody else told me that Chris Rock was like so terrible in it that it kind of killed it for him. So I was like, I don't know, I might wait till it comes out, on streaming. And ever since it came out on streaming, I just haven't checked it out yet.
I think I found it in like the bin, and it was new for like $5 somewhere. And I was like, all right, I'll get it and buy it. And I watched it. And that wasn't my favorite. I keep hearing people say how much they love it, and everybody's got their own opinion. But I'm with your friend where it's like, Chris Rock, he's been in some great comedy movies. I mean, one of my favorite movies is CB4 that he was in. I don't know if you ever saw that.
I love CB4, dude. That was oh my gosh, freaking what's her name? Was it Tamara Davis that directed that? I think it was Tamara Davis that did Half Baked. Made CB4. Yeah, I love CB4. That's a good movie.
And the girl from Half Baked was in it. That was Chris Rock's girlfriend.
Yeah.
She was definitely beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful one. Golly, I'm trying now it's gonna bug me if I don't.
I can't think of her name either. I've watched Half Baked probably.
Rachel True.
MC Gusto. Half Baked I watched so many times. CB4 I watched so many times. Those were just great movies in the 90s.
Because I was in love with that girl from The Craft. She was in The Craft. It's Rachel True. She was in The Craft. She was in CB4. She was in Half Baked.
I didn't realize she was the girl in The Craft for whatever reason. Maybe because she's always plays in the other one. She plays that nice girl. Yeah. And in The Craft, not that she was bad, but she wasn't the good girl next door. Yeah. I never realized that because I like The Craft too. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, she was great. She played a great girlfriend in both of the movies. It fit.
Yeah, she had a good 90s run.
That was my introduction CB4 to Charlie Murphy. I'm like, that dude looks just like Eddie Murphy. And then you see Murphy behind. It's like, that's got to be it. Are you kidding? He was so funny in that movie. Charlie Murphy was hilarious, man.
Yeah, he killed it. He definitely stole the movie. Any scene he had, he was solid in it.
At the end when he pulls out the big condom, she pulls out the tiny one. That's just funny. There's so many funny scenes in that movie. So many funny scenes.
There's tons of good gags. One thing that's funny is that Big Ass Biscuit joke, where they go to the restaurant that's called the Big Ass Biscuit, and literally everybody has a biscuit this big. And there's actually a restaurant here in the town that I live in Texas, that has Big Ass Biscuit on their menu. It's not quite that big, but they're literally like this damn big, and it's called the BAB, Big Ass Biscuit.
That's pretty awesome, man. Is it any good? Have you tried it?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, they've got one that's got like cheddar jalapeno Big Ass Biscuit. It's really good. Like I'm from Texas. I like spicy shit. So,
I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
Vinny might be asleep, Rick. Hey, Savannah Shorts now. How are you doing? Welcome to America. She just moved to America.
Oh, awesome.
In the Philippines, cool. Yeah. Savannah's a very nice person, always supportive.
Very, very cool.
Very cool to see you. And like I said, congratulations on making it to America. I know it's been a long wait for her to get here. and I believe it's her husband who's here. So yeah, so it's been a long wait. Congratulations to you, Sublana.
Yeah, very congrats. Yeah,
Yeah,
very happy to have you.
it had to be a long road, and with everything that's going on in the world, I can imagine how hard it was for her. So yeah,
Yeah, just even getting like people just getting like work visas right now, just being able to come over and like I love metal music, and it's really sad. I had tickets to Megadeth for like the last 2 years, and they finally rescheduled that concert. And In Flames couldn't get a work visa, with all the COVID situation going on. So that just going through the immigration process, I can't imagine all the extra red tape they've added just for that. And it's just like
I don't even
insane.
want to think about it. It had to be tough. So
Yeah.
yeah, I haven't been to a concert in so long. I definitely want to get to one soon.
Yeah, I ended up not going because it was a month ago. It was last month, is because it was Megadeth, Lamb of God, and it was going to be In Flames, but they ended up having Hatebreed do for them. But I've seen Lamb of God and Megadeth probably like 6 times a piece over the last like 15 years. So it's like, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go run around anymore. And also at that age too, where
Yeah.
I don't like running around the pit anymore. I like
Oh,
seats, and
gonna break a bone that way.
yeah. And it's like I was always the guy in the pit before, and like this was one of the first concerts I can remember that I actually bought seats like the second or third row of seats above the pit. And I was just like, well, I'm finally that guy now.
Jim, you ever seen you know who Jim Brewer is? From Half
Yeah.
Baked.
Yeah.
He's got a skit where he talks about going to a Metallica concert, and who was it? He's got a story where it was, he's all there for Metallica, but they're like, I'm trying to think of the band. I'm getting old. I'm losing my memory on stuff. Oh God, I forget what band. Slayer. I think it was Slayer. It might have been Slayer. And he does this great routine where he's like, yeah, and then it's like, oh, you guys you gotta watch it. He's hilarious. And he's talking about how he's older now, and back in the day he's just getting beat up and stuff like that. And he's like, I broke a hip.
Yeah, dude, it definitely because I actually got pretty injured at when I actually tore my MCL whenever gosh, which concert was that? It was that Arch Enemy. I think it was the show Metalocalypse.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I guess Death Clock had like the tour, and Arch Enemy was on that tour, and I went and watched that during Arch Enemy. Some dude like tripped and fell and went sideways to the knee. Huh?
They do all the music for Metalocalypse.
No, the what's his name? Brendan Small, that does all the voices for there and writes it and created it. Like he does all the music for that. He's the main singer and guitarist and songwriter for everything. So he gets a backing band, that comes and plays with him. And then Arch Enemy was opening because I guess they'd done some guest voices on the show and stuff. And anyway, I was in the middle of Arch Enemy, and this dude just tripped and went right to the side of my knee and tore my MCL. That sucked. That was one. That was one of the last times.
You announced your retirement from the mosh pit.
Yeah, that was about 10 years ago, a little more than 10 years ago.
Or did you you didn't want to? Have you committed made a public statement that you've retired from the mosh pits, or you hold for one more round?
No, I'm kind of stopped. Around that time, like a year later, I kind of moved up to like the Panhandle area because I lived in Dallas Fort Worth area for the longest time. Especially whenever I lived like mainly in Dallas, I was going to concerts every other week. That was a good time. but yeah, so I kind of moved up here, kind of got away from going to concerts for a while, and now that I'm back over by the area, it's like, just getting too old.
To be after 11 p.m., I can't do it.
Even right now, whenever you told me coming on tonight at like 9, I was like, 9. Oh man, that's kind of the witching hour there, bro.
I hear you. It's really the only time that's convenient for me on just the way my life is structured, because I work so many hours and everything I do is at work. So it's like at my house, I don't have nothing. I just go there a few days a week and drink some beer, and then I get back here and do what I do. So it's usually I got to get them all situated and ready. So 9 p.m. for me and you, 10 p.m. the East Coast. So yeah, that's why I might switch it to Saturdays where it's not so late. But
Yeah,
Like I
I'm
said,
good either way,
but
man. Like it's definitely and I'm usually a night owl. I worked a night shift forever until like March this year. I was on nights for like 5 years straight at my day job, and I was like, now I'm back on like, and I used to stay up to like 4 o'clock in the morning all the time, and then now it's like, oh, about 8 o'clock. You're like, yep, getting time to turn in, headed down the old dusty trail.
I did a 24. I used to work at a printing press for a newspaper back in the day. Printing press, newspaper. What the hell is that? Yeah, and I could just. My problem was I loved the job. It was a cool job, but I just could never get used to the night shift. Maybe now more. But the funny thing is, I'm a night owl. Like, I'll be tired all day, and then you're like, all right, 9 o'clock. I could have slept. You know, I could have taken a nap and this and that, and then come like the sun goes down. I'm awake. What are we doing? So I'm a night owl too. I just don't like to work.
Yeah, working at night sucks.
Yeah. It just
I like to ride at night. Like riding, I get my best riding done at like 2 or 3, 4 in the morning. But like working at night, I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, just hurry up, sun, come up so I can go home.
Yeah, it's something you want to do like writing, but something that is work is different. So,
yeah,
I feel you. I feel you. And the thing with me is most of the time when I'm tired, I can't take a nap. Well, I could if I wanted to, but I don't. I'm just too busy with what I'm doing. That it's like, all right, tired. I could take a nap, but and there's been days where it's like, especially if one of my guys is up all night or something like that, one tends to fall asleep and leave like the loud fan on in the bathroom and be in there for like 2 hours, and all I hear is the fan where I'm sleeping, and it's real loud. So it's like, gotta get up, remind him I'll be there for half asleep on the toilet, or sleep on the toilet to get him. And the worst part is when you get up, and I'm so bad at like if I get up, getting back to sleep, and that's where I usually get tired in the morning. But at night, I don't know what it is. Just get that second wind going. Maybe it's like, oh, nighttime, sun's down. Let's watch some horror or something.
Yeah, dude, for real.
Let's see. We've been here an hour. We got to definitely do this again. We'll get a bigger group. I want to get you on with Steve Merlo. I know Steve's coming on next week. I would give him a little shout out because he's been really great. I'm a producer with him on his the Sawyer Massacre. So it's awesome knowing you get Indiegogo guys. I want to help kind of promote each one of you guys out. I want to get you two together. You guys, like I said, I'll just sit back. But man, that's a cool conversation because I imagine you guys are both awesome dudes. I'd just be sitting here and be like, man, it's fun to listen to what they're talking about because you guys both have a lot of knowledge in what you're doing. And
definitely, I'll be all about it.
I could definitely see you two being pretty good friends, like getting along real well. I said, he's awesome dude, stand-up guy. So he just had so much stuff going on. He was interested in doing it too, but we'll make that happen. We'll make it happen. And I definitely want to get Tony with Phantasm, the promoter, get him back on here again. I'd love to introduce him to some of you guys because, like I said, the Orlando Phantasm, I can't wait. He's got like an event going. I've gone to some stuff, but he's trying to make it fun for everybody. Like, if you get a chance, watch the Orlando Phantasm trailer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's really cool. All the stuff they're doing. I don't even want to begin to do it. There's obviously the short film stuff, costume contest. It's basically they're making an amusement park for everybody to have a good time. I'm stoked about it. It was one of those ones where maybe I'll go put on a little table and do this. And it's like, I'm seeing what they're doing. It's like, all right, getting a big table, loading up the van, driving. Because I was just going to send a few things, fly, go visit family and do a little table, promote Doomsday's Crypt a little bit. But I just can't do it that way. Hi, Chris Callie. How are you? But we'll definitely get back together. I don't want to tie you up too long. I know you got a lot going on. Congratulations again. Thank you for being here, Jason. We're going to be doing more. Next time I'm not going to give you an announcement because you are welcomed anytime. Enjoy shooting the shit with you. We'll always talk about what's going on, keep us updated. And we'll get together again, do this real soon.
Hell yeah, man. All right, I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on. See you later, buddy.
All right. Take care, chat.